Hello and welcome to Cool Ranch Corner episode 41.
Jesus, man, we're getting up there.
Yeah.
Really are.
Um, how you doing, Chris?
I'm okay.
Okay.
Just don't have a whole lot going on right now, but that's kind of a
I'm
good
I'm
thing.
not gonna lie, I've been like stressed out of my mind. I feel like there's so much stuff going on. But um the Mustang's great. I've been having a good time driving that. I'm getting 28 miles per gallon. So
Really?
yeah, because I feel like I drive half city, half freeway, highway, whatever. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like I use my cruise control, and since it's adaptive cruise control, it's really nice because I literally just gotta like put my hands on the wheel and just zone out because
Well,
it slows down and stops at lights and all kinds of stuff for me. It's fun.
really?
Yeah.
That's so it's like basically got like self-driving.
Self-driving, except you have to have it's like self-driving except it doesn't make turns for you and stuff.
Yeah, but that's like
But it'll slow down, and like because it's the 10 speed, like my Corolla did the same thing, but it would like take its sweet ass time to like get up to speed at like it would slow down and stop at a light, and then like people would honk at me because it would be like 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 slowly go back trying to get to the speed that I have it set at. But my Mustang's a 10 speed, so it just like floors it.
dude, that's actually kind of crazy though because like I was thinking about it like on my way to work the other day where I was like, man, self-driving really isn't that complicated if you think about it because it's it's not about like, oh, hey, like let's try and mimic how people drive. Really, it should be as simple as just like, okay, what are the signals that you need to know when to do certain things? Like, oh, I want to make this turn, but I got to wait for the light to have the little green arrow, right? Like it
Yeah.
shouldn't be that difficult, but for some reason, like, have you ever watched those self-driving videos where people are like testing out the new betas for the Teslas? It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's still, it's still got some kinks to work out, and it's like just stopping randomly, and it thinks that a person's a car, and like it's so
Yeah, I
weird.
would say the tricky part is like all the safety features and stuff to make sure that it won't like. Because I mean, have you seen those videos where it's just like, I mean, to be fair, like it'll be like pitch black and there's like some homeless person in the middle of the road and it'll hit them. Like a normal person would probably hit them.
Yeah,
You know
well,
what I
and
mean?
I think that's part of the problem. Like, I'm not like I used to be a huge like Tesla meat rider, and now I'm not. I'm kind of, I guess, like,
I'm
man,
just
there's been no progress lately, and the
yeah,
Cybertruck was a huge flop in my opinion. Like it took way too long to come out.
yeah. I think unless you're gonna go for one of the lower models, that's like more. It's more about like actually saving money and stuff.
Hmm.
Like because like Ben has a Tesla, and then like one of his other roommates has a Tesla, or I don't think his new one does. Or not his. He had like four roommates, and now he's down to one roommate. And I don't remember if they both have a Tesla or not. I think they do. But either way, like personally, I don't know if I could do a Tesla just because you get you get car sick in them if you're not the one driving. And I know Bobby gets car sick like really easily, and so do I. So it's like no matter what, if somebody's riding with you, like if one of us is whoever's not driving is going to be car sick is basically what I'm saying, and that's just not going to work for me. I would hate that. I mean, I get car sick just riding riding in a normal car.
Dude,
Uh,
honestly, that's the thing. As a kid, I like never really experienced that, and now it's like whenever I'm in someone else's car, especially like dad, the way that he drives, like it makes me feel like crap, dude.
I get in. Have you ever gotten in? Well, I hate when you get into like an Uber or something and they don't have the AC on and they have like the windows down because they're being a cheap ass. Like they're trying to get like the best gas mileage possible. They're like, we're in the city, so I'm just gonna have the windows down and no AC, and you're
Well,
just like,
doesn't
oh,
doesn't
oh, in
doesn't
the back.
uh doesn't having your windows down actually ruin your gas mileage?
No, like in the city, like I think unless you're going like above like 35 or 40, it really is like negligible. It's once you get to like higher speeds that it causes drag. But,
Well, because
but I
so
mean the AC, like I wonder how much like fuel economy you lose by running the AC. Like it's got to be like such a small amount, like 5% or something, you know?
when I was driving home to visit um mom and dad like what like a few weeks ago, we were like, it's like a 3.5 hour drive or something like that. It's not too bad, but like, you kind of get bored. It's just me in the middle of the night. Like it was just I'm by myself. That's it. And I remember I was like, like I've never rolled the window down while I'm going like 75 miles an hour. And so I roll it down, and I got my crank window, so I'm all, and I'm like, dang, it's loud out there. And I was like, and I take my hand and I go, and it just goes, like my hand just flies back, and I was like, oh my god, like I was so surprised by like, there's a lot of force there, dude. But
Yeah, when it's crazy how much resistance like is in the air,
yeah,
like
yeah, and I mean like if you like run fast enough, like you can kind of feel it, but it's not gonna like like
if you yeah, motorcycles, like you'll really feel it on a motorcycle.
yeah, I wouldn't doubt that, honestly. That's the thing.
Well
Being
the
on a motorcycle must be such a interesting experience. I've never been on one.
Yeah, I mean, well the thing is uh on a motorcycle you have to worry about wind chill because like,
Oh, is that why
like
they have the jackets on?
yeah, well that and to protect if you crash because people will just like even if you wreck at a low speed, like you'll get road rash, like you'll get road rash burn or whatever they call it, where like your skin just gets peeled off like a cheese grater. But yeah, no, like there's some kind of calculation that you can do, and basically like for every 10 miles per hour, there's like a temperature drop. So like that's why people don't ride motorcycles as much in the winter because it's already cold as it is, and then like you can literally be driving in like negative temperatures. It'll feel like negative temperatures. It's crazy. I mean, that's why like on a plane, literally it'll tell you like the outside air temp on the screen, and it'll be like freaking. Yeah, you'll be like, it's the middle of the summer and it's 100 degrees out, and it says that it's like 20 degrees up there. Like it's
Well,
crazy.
yeah, and also like just like the altitude itself. Yeah. So like
Yeah,
that's
the
wow.
altitude. Yeah,
Yeah, I had never really thought about that before. That's kind of interesting. It's a little
yeah.
little nerdy, but yeah, that's interesting.
I've got
Wow.
a topic to talk about later that has to do with altitude, so that's actually I'll transition into that. But before I do, I wanted to say for anybody who cares, because I do get comments and like stuff like that every once in a while, which I'm doing a Chipotle mukbang tonight for hitting 25K on my second
Hmm.
account, which is I've made it so that my main account is at Danny Dorito 23. It shows up as Danny Dorito 23 now. But my second account is at Derek Bowder, and it shows up as Derek Bowder. So like you can kind of differentiate the two. And so on my Derek Bowder account, where I'm a little more personal and like rant and do all kinds of stuff like that, or I've been reacting to movies. That's fun on there. I hit 25K on there, and so I'm doing a Chipotle mukbang. And I think one of the things I'm going to talk about is how one of the things that sucks about being a quote unquote influencer, content creator. I hate the word influencer, but that's really what they call it because literally, like, you create content and that can influence people on how they think, the decisions they make, the things they buy. That's why they call it that, right? Um, I feel like sometimes with an influencer, people don't actually care about you or what you're feeling in the moment. Like it's all about the entertainment value and all that stuff, So like sometimes I'll talk about like film project stuff and it feels like nobody gives a shit. Like on my lives. Like I'll be
Hmm.
like, yo, would you guys fund an Indiegogo? Like if I was trying to raise a certain amount of the budget? Crickets. And I'm like, okay, I guess that's a no. That sucks. And somebody will be like, well, I would, And I'm like, oh, there's one person, but nobody else cares. And then people will chime in and be like, I do. I don't really know what Indiegogo is, and I have to explain it, things like that. But it sucks that sometimes it feels so. I feel like people are out of touch with me, to an extent. And so, like, one of my goals for the rest of the year is to just become more and more personal with my audience. So I mean, this definitely helps. But, anyways, what I was gonna transition into Uh, oh, that's what I was getting at. Sorry. I have been writing with Ben. We fleshed out our concept for our film, which was really interesting. It was like our own little mini writer's room. Like we sat there for 3 hours and just hashed out like, all right, what's the ending, like all that kind of stuff, you know. And so this week we have a meeting and we're going to start story beats, which is like basically like the skeleton of an outline. So it's happening, baby. I'm excited, and then it also makes me feel like I need to, you know, work more on my Coast Guard film. So I'm doing that too. But altitude stuff. The reason I brought that up is because Albuquerque is at a higher elevation, right? Like let me see what is the elevation of Albuquerque? Because I'm like I can't remember if they call this a mile high city or not. Yo, what the hell?
What?
It says Albuquerque has an average elevation of 5,314 feet above sea level.
I mean, that would, yeah, I would say that's mile high. Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't even know that was a
Yeah,
term.
it is a mile high city. Like officially, a mile is a mile. It's 1 point. Or no, it says that a mile is 5,280 feet, and the average here is 5,312. So yeah, I've been running, and I hate running as it is, but you definitely feel out of breath faster at like this elevation. So theoretically, if I were to go back to our hometown, which is like close to sea level or at sea level, right?
I think so.
I think it might even be a little below sea level.
I thought it was below.
'Cause
Yeah.
I think if you drive through like El Centro, they have that water tower that shows sea level, and we're like 20 feet below it or some shit, you know. But anyways, like if I were to go run there, my I would have an easier time running, and my time would improve like noticeably, which is like interesting to me. And the script that I'm writing about the Coast Guard literally has to do with like training for boot camp. So I was like, huh, there's like a little tidbit to throw in there that's like unique to Albuquerque, you know? Because I mean, Cape May, where boot camp is literally at sea level because the ocean's right there. So if you could pass the runtime here, you're definitely gonna pass it there. So that's why I was like, oh, that's an interesting little thing to include in there. I'm actually gonna note that real quick while you transition us into um
Our next topic.
anything. Is there anything like fitness related? Like, have you? I can't remember. Did you do any sports in high school? I don't remember.
No,
Like, was it
I thought about doing cross country with my friends and stuff like that, but like by the time that they had been like, yeah, it's a lot of fun, it was already sophomore year, and I had I had gotten my license, and then I immediately started like working at a movie theater, and that was like I didn't really feel like it was going to be a good idea to like try to graduate early, have a job, and be in a sport because I would have like no life at all. Like I would be doing nothing. I wouldn't have
right?
any personal time or anything. So I would have done cross country, but I just didn't. I wouldn't have done track though. I feel like track is very much like a like I doubt people really care that much, but it's like I think when people know like, oh hey, like this is the part where Chris is gonna be running. Everyone pay attention because that's our guy, right? And then you mess up, it's like, oh man, like everybody saw you
Oh,
mess up.
yeah. I remember the people who did the hurdles was always cringy because there would be people who just they can't do it, man. Like they would
Yeah.
just smack their knees on every single hurdle, and it's just like ooh, ooh, and then they would like literally eat shit. You're like ooh, and then like they limp across, and everybody's just like,
Yeah,
hey,
because like
pick a different track sport.
what are you even supposed to do? Like you if you mess up, like you just
Well,
keep
they're
going.
made to like rock forward. So like if
Yeah.
you smack them, they like move for you so that you don't like literally like it's not like running into a post, you know? But still, like you're banging your shins and stuff on them, like
Yeah.
ugh.
Uh,
I mean, So for people who don't know, I was a swimmer for my last 2 years of high school, and it is one of the like anytime somebody's like, is there one thing you could change? There's not a lot of things that I'm like, man, I wish I would go back and do that differently. The one thing I can for sure say I would change is I would swim all 4 years because I loved swimming. I got good at it. I went to state for it my senior year. Like, what kind of swim athlete would I have been if I'd swam all 4 years? You know? And I mean, that first year, junior year, it was really about like getting into shape. I lost so much weight. You remember? I lost like 25 pounds my first year of swim,
Yeah, I remember that. That was because I mean,
and
if you look at the pictures,
I
it's
was
like
eating
night
like
and
an
day.
animal.
Yeah.
I was eating like an animal.
Well, so what's
Just can remember
interesting
the McDonald's orders and
when
stuff.
was it? It was probably your junior year. There was a point where you looked like me, just darker,
Hmm.
and so like
I get so much sun swimming.
yeah, so like if for people who because I don't know if you've really showed very many pictures from that time, but like um for people who haven't seen what he looked like when he was like
I
my
was
weight, it like yeah, it's
yeah.
like imagine me but just dark. It basically looked
I
the
weighed
same. Yeah,
112 pounds when I went to boot camp.
yeah.
And it was the greatest thing ever because while everybody else in my company was like worried about not passing the weight standards because like they were so close to like being overweight by military standards, they actually had to like watch what they ate at the galley. And because I was 112 pounds when I went in, they would they would be like, okay, like week 4, they would be like, you guys kicked ass. You beat the other company at like this, and they're like a week ahead of you. They suck ass. Like that company sucks. Zulu, like in the cafeteria, and the company commanders would be like to the other company commander. And so they were like, "You guys earned dessert for the rest of boot camp. Unless you guys fuck up, you have dessert." And so they had like donuts, like good donuts. Like they made their own donuts there. They had apple pie and all kinds of stuff. They would literally be like, "Hey, so and so, you shouldn't be eating that donut. Give it to Bowder." And they would like take it and put it on my plate. And so while everybody else is like stressing in the galley because one, like that's just where they like fuck with you. Two, they would be like watching what you eat and making sure that you're not gonna like fail the weigh-in next week or whatever. Meanwhile, I came out of boot camp like really toned and like fit because you do so much PT, but I was 130 pounds. So I gained 18 pounds in 8 weeks. And it was because I was just stressing like a motherfucker, man. And I did not care because I was passing that shit like with flying colors. I can pass for my height. I can weigh like the Coast Guard. It was like I could pass the weight standards. Like I think the most I was allowed to weigh was 150 pounds.
Dude, that's Jesus
I
Christ.
never like
Dude,
I
I
like I
could
don't
gain 45 pounds. That's insane, man.
the whole time I was in the Coast Guard, I don't think I ever worried about weight standards.
Jesus.
I think there was one time where I was like, all right, I need to dial it back. Like I'm at like 145. Like if I continue down this route, I'm gonna have to lose some weight, or else it's gonna be like, if the wrong person weighs me, I might be a little bit over, then they're gonna be like, you're on probation. I saw people on weight probation and it sucked because they would basically give you a partner, and that partner would like literally watch what you eat.
Wow.
Like when we were on the boat, like they would be like, "Hey, no more." And
He's
right, if you want anything else, you eat a fucking salad.
they're opening up like My Fitness Pal and being like, "Oh, you're over on calories for today."
Dude, it was crazy, man. I mean, like you would see people and it was just like people stress eat. I think everybody stress eats to an extent. Like one of the easiest things if you have a bad day is to just eat a really bad meal, Like it's comfort food. Like most of the stuff that people like is comfort food.
Well, so I think like during the lockdown, like I got up to like 115 is the most
I got
that
up
I
to
got to.
150.
And honestly like 115 really isn't that much, but that's the most I've ever weighed. And it's just because like it's not even because of stress. It was like I was just at home all the time, and it was like, I can go for some Cheez-Its, and then it's like, maybe like 2 hours
Yeah.
later, I'm like, well, like it's lunchtime. Okay, I'm gonna eat, and then it's like, All right, well, I have some leftover breadsticks from the pizza I got from last night. I'm gonna have some of those as a snack, and it's just like I would constantly be eating because it's like there's always a fridge there. There's always a fridge for me to go and get food out of. It's not like I was
Yeah.
at work or anything because I couldn't even go to work. They furloughed us at Best Buy, and so like I don't know. It's like I think if you're in a certain environment, anybody can gain weight, and
Oh
they do
yeah.
very easily. So.
I think people who are like, oh, I don't like there's these people who are like, I can't gain weight no matter what I do. I'm like, bro, you have an appetite issue. That is 100% like an appetite issue. Because if you sleep, if you're somebody who even sleeps like 9 hours a day, like that means you have freaking 15 hours a day to eat. And for me, it's like if I eat something 3 to 4 hours later, I could eat again for sure. You know what I mean? Like even if I stuffed myself, I think I could eat another
Well,
1,000 calories
see,
3 or 4 hours later.
my issue ever since I started having like I don't know if it's like I'm pretty sure it's gluten, but I don't know what it is. But like sometimes like if I, for example, if I eat pasta, right? Pasta will like
God, I love
it
pasta.
destroys my. I can't have pasta anymore. Like I had spaghetti
Like
one like
Bobby can't have rice anymore. She said that all of a sudden like rice makes her feel like shit.
well, so the thing is with spaghetti, like the last time I had it, I straight up was like throwing up like the entire day, and it was bad, dude. And I ended
Was
up
it just
miss.
like noodles and cheese and
Yeah, like it wasn't anything.
sure you didn't eat like bad cheese?
No, it was like I had just bought like the Parmesan cheese. I had bought it for the
I
spaghetti that I
dude,
had.
I've bought stuff from the store and it's like bad and I don't realize it until I go and eat it. Like I remember one time I got milk, poured a glass, and then I go and right when it got to my lips and I smelled it, I was like, that is sour. That is 100% sour. And then so I opened because I usually get 2 jugs of milk, right?
Hmm.
And so like I opened the second one, same thing, and I was like, damn, the store got a bad batch of milk, so I took it back and got my money back. And they're like, thank you for letting us know. They
Well,
had to
no,
like take all the milk out.
the thing is that this isn't the first time that it's happened. Like it's like I'm pretty sure it's a gluten thing because it's like when it's like pasta, which is like very dense in that. That's when I start to feel like complete crap. But my point is, it's like it almost makes me not want to eat because there's always the chance it's just gonna destroy my stomach, and it's like, oh, well, just like
Yeah.
eat nothing but meat then. And it's like, dude, sometimes I want a freaking sandwich, you know? Like,
Oh,
and
dude,
that's
I had a
that's
sandwich last night.
so. Well, actually, I guess that's a good way to
Yeah,
transition. So, I tried that. I tried to see, hey, is this going to be a good deal? That McDonald's meal deal where you can get like, I think you get like a burger or a McChicken, and then you get 4 nuggets and a small fry and then a drink. It's like five
oh,
bucks.
it's a small fry. I thought it was a medium.
No, it's a freaking small. I was like, are you? Meanwhile, okay, I will say this: any order on a Friday, apparently, any order on a Friday, uh, you get, as long as it's $1 or more. I don't think there's anything there that you can get for less than $1 though. You get a free medium fry. So
Oh, so
I full on min maxed the crap out of what I got. I got
yeah.
so also with the McChicken, you can choose between a regular or a spicy, which I was like,
Ooh.
heck yeah,
Did you get
dude.
the spicy?
I got this. I always get the spicy, man. Who gets
I
the
didn't know you
regular?
like spicy chicken sandwiches, dude.
Oh, dude, I love this. Well, see, the thing is though,
Chick-fil-A has a great spicy
first
chicken
off, I
sandwich.
hate Chick-fil-A because they everything there tastes like pickles, and I hate pickles.
Mm,
The
fair
other
enough.
thing, the other thing is so like Popeyes, for example. I think in order to get a
Ooh.
spicy chicken sandwich there, it has a sauce, and I'm not a sauce guy. I don't like sauce.
Yeah. I mean, but you
So
could order it without the sauce. I think it's just like a mayo.
I thought no,
It's literally just
I thought the
mayo.
sauce was what makes it spicy.
No, the actual fillet is spicy too. They do like, dude, Popeyes is probably my okay. If we're talking like, I don't know, because Popeyes is pretty pricey, man. Because I was thinking about what I'm gonna do for my next mukbang when I hit 50K, and I think I'm gonna do slim chickens.
Oh,
Have you had slim chickens?
they don't have it here. I think they're gonna
Okay.
get one in like Yuma or something like that at some point.
Well, I'm gonna get your ass to come visit it somehow, and you gotta try it. It's delicious.
We'll
It's like
see.
raising canes on steroids,
That
man.
and dude, that's the thing. So like Cane's is one of those places where it's like I'm sitting here and I'm like, God, that sounds so good right now. But it's like it's it's like if you're gonna go to Cane's, it's like you better just go there and like eat it with somebody because it's a big meal, honestly. Like it's not just like if I get like McDonald's, it's like, oh, I'll have my chicken sandwich and my nuggets and my fries and it'll be done in 10 minutes. It's like if I go and get Cane's, I'm sit down and I'm gonna be there for like at least half an hour. Like
At Slim's, I get the hungry meal. It's
uh,
like 7 tenders, bro. Oh, it's so
see,
good.
I purposely order it so that I have leftovers because I love Cane's. Cane's is
I
so good, bro.
I think that's one of my biggest issues with food in general is like I'm just not the type of guy to like leave anything on my plate. Like I've been trying to make more of an effort of like, all right, if do I really need to eat the rest of this?
Dude, I'm a
Like,
cheapskate though, so I'm like I gotta have extra food for
well,
later.
if I was on my I tell Bobby this all the time, and she's like, why do you say that? It makes you sound like you don't like being married. And I'm like, no, no, no. What I'm saying is that when I was in the Coast Guard living on my own, I was like that. Like everything was like if the difference between saving $10 and like not saving $10 was me having to do something shitty or like stretch like a pizza for like another day, you know? Like
Mm.
something like that, I just do it because who cares? It's me. I'm a grown ass man. I can do what I want. I don't have to worry about nobody else. Like it's not like that when you have a family, you know, you gotta like worry about other people and
Well,
shit.
dude, and
So
so the thing I saw a video recently where it was like which pizza is like the best for leftovers, and so they did a thing where they got like I think Domino's, Pizza
God,
Hut, and
Domino's has
Papa
gone
John's.
downhill so bad.
Well, we'll get into that in a second. So, um, you know when you like put pizza in the fridge and then like a couple days later it starts to curl?
How long are you leaving your pizza in the fridge for?
You've never seen that before, dude? Like 2 or 3
No,
days,
I
it starts to curl. It depends on the pizza.
maybe if your refrigerator's too cold or something.
I don't think it's a temperature issue. I think it's a like a humidity issue. Like if it's too dry, it starts
I've
to
seen
shrink.
Domino's do that, but Little
Domino
Caesars I don't.
Domino's well, like I said, Little Caesars was not part of this video. It was Domino's, Papa
Yeah.
John's, and Pizza Hut. And
Little Caesars is so damn good, man.
well, so
I
that's the
love
thing.
it.
Little Caesars is good every once in a while. If you have nothing but Little Caesars, it gets tiring very fast. But the what are the little like pizza like the it's like almost like a muffin looking thing.
Ooh, the I think they're just called pizza bites.
I don't think that's true. But whatever they're called, those things were freaking great, man. That and
Yeah,
so
they still have them, I think.
they better keep them because they're like one of the best things they've
Yeah, they
made in a
still have them.
while.
Right
Yeah,
now they're promoting them. If you buy oh, they're called Crazy Puffs. That's right.
that's what it is. Yeah.
If you buy a 4 pack of Crazy Puffs, you get pineapple Pepsi, which is like exclusive to Little Caesars for
I'm gonna
five
be
bucks.
honest, that sounds disgusting.
I'd try it, but the thing is I don't try sodas that aren't zero sugar. I just don't. I don't do anything that's not zero sugar anymore.
Honestly, I've been thinking about just because I saw like it was a zero sugar Baja Blast. I saw it once. I saw it once, and I was like this close to buying it, and then I was like,
Try a
eh.
bottle.
Wait, what?
They sell it in a bottle. You should try it in a bottle before you
Well,
get cans.
yeah, I don't. I have to see if they even have bottles because I haven't seen those. I think I've only seen the cans.
You see a gas station, just stop.
There's a Quick Trip not far from here, and so
Yeah, they should have it.
that's they'd probably have that, but then I have to go inside, and there's like
I've
homeless
honestly
people.
seen it like I've seen it like everywhere now because it's supposed to be permanent now. I don't think it's going away.
The only thing is, like I've always mentioned aspartame, it doesn't like. I know that you say like, oh, they know how to like cover it up now, but like I know like food science has been like, yeah, aspartame is a different flavor than just sugar or high fructose corn syrup or whatever. Like it tastes different, and so yes, it's able to be sweet without it being like bad for you, but it just doesn't taste the same, and so that's the problem. And maybe it's because I'm used to it. I'm used to the sugar
Yeah.
taste,
So,
but
and if you
like.
get used to zero sugar, it's the same thing. When I drink regular soda now, I'm just like, ugh. Like
You know,
like I don't like how it coats your teeth and it's
I
all
tried.
sticky and
We were talking about it at lunch at work one day. They were like, "Yeah, so like, are you a Coke or a Pepsi guy?" And I was like, "Oh, like my family's had Pepsi for like a long time. Like we've always had Pepsi."
yeah, I
And
prefer Pepsi.
well, the thing is, it's like I was like, I haven't had Pepsi in like probably like 6, 7, 8 months. So I'd gotten Pepsi dude, like colas just suck.
Dude,
I don't like
Pepsi
cola
Zero
sodas.
Sugar. Pepsi Zero Sugar, I think legitimately, if you put it next to regular Pepsi and blindfolded somebody and like they didn't know which one was which, they would have to think about it. It's gotten that good.
Well, the only thing,
It even almost resembles that sticky, syrupy feeling that you get. It's crazy.
the only thing that I like as far as like Pepsi or Coke at this point is like cherry Pepsi. Cherry Pepsi is like the best
I don't,
cherry.
I grew out of cherry sodas, man. It's like I don't know what it is. I think
So
it's the type of cherry that they
with
use. It's so artificial tasting.
but if you go to like Buffalo Wild Wings or something like that, right, and you go, I want a cherry Pepsi, and they put the
Yeah,
cherries in
that's
it. Oh
different.
my God,
That's
bro!
different.
It's
It's like a cherry. It's like an actual like candied
except for when
cherry
you go there and
syrup.
you go, oh hey, I want a cherry. They go, is grenadine fine? Can I put grenadine? And I'm like,
What is
just make
grenadine again? It's just like a cherry
it's
syrup,
it's
right?
like
They use
yeah
for, like
yeah.
like for like cocktails.
Something like that. I don't know, but it's usually they ask that if it's a place that has a bar. So like I think Olive Garden might do it.
Yeah.
Um, and so I don't know. I mean, I don't think it tastes bad. I think it tastes like cherry Pepsi, but it's just
Mm, yeah. Well,
I like the experience of actually eating the cherries.
yeah. I do. They so okay. Let's do the ad break and then we'll continue.
Okay.
I have a really good little story I can tell. Um, this episode is sponsored by.
Okay, Cartman, what is that?
Use G Fuel code Danny D. Get yourself some G Fuel. Um, there is a new Scream flavor that is up for pre-order. Right now it says for 4 days, but when this drops on like YouTube and yeah, when it drops on YouTube, it'll be 3 days. I don't. I think that means after that 3 days, you have to wait until it like comes out in September to get it. But you can choose. It's first of all, it is called Stab Stimulant, which I'm like, that's a crazy name. But it's supposed to be cherry green apple, which sounds very interesting.
Wow.
And it's you can get the collector's. You can customize the collector's box to come with either an energy or a hydration tub, which is a W. And you could pick either a 24-ounce plastic shaker that has this cool like blood drip thing around it. It's kind of like the green slime one that they did. So I'm not gonna sort through all my stuff right now to find it. But and then you could choose either the plastic, which is a tall boy by the way, so that's cool, or the stainless steel, which is like the Chucky one I have, but it's Scream, so ghost faces on it. So if you right now I don't see a way to buy the tubs by themselves, but if you get the hydration tub and a plastic shaker, it's $32 for the collector's box. If you switch to an energy tub, it's $40. And then if you get the stainless steel shaker, the stainless steel shakers are very heavy duty. So getting the energy tub and the stainless steel is $60. The hydration and the stainless steel is 52. But if you use G Fuel code Danny D, I think because it's a pre-order, you get 30% off. So snag
Dang.
that B. Get it, dude. It sounds like it's gonna be great. Who doesn't? I mean, if you're a horror fan, like Ghostface is just iconic, man. Like honestly, based off my code numbers, which I can't get into, this is a very popular flavor. So I think there's a lot of hype around it, and you have a couple more days to get in on it. So use code Danny D, and then support us with our Patreon. It's officially up. I'm gonna be doing G Fuel tub giveaways on the 15th. Today's the 13th. So I'm going to give away a tub for US and a tub for international. Not revealing what those are yet because I have to pick them. Uh, Maybe I'll do the horror flavors. Or maybe no, I'm going to wait till
No,
Halloween.
yeah,
for
I would
that.
wait for
Yeah.
that's what I would do. Yeah.
I have so many tubs though. So there's that. And then I'm giving away Blu-rays in the Discord. I think I'm going to give away a couple things in the Discord. So join
Well,
the Discord for
I thought
$1 or more.
I thought I saw something about Warzone in there.
Yeah, I was just gonna get into, and then I'm trying to do a gaming session, on every weekend that I can. Obviously, it's not always possible, but a couple hours after we finish recording this podcast, I'm gonna be hopping on there and playing some Warzone with the people in the Discord that are tier 2 members and above. So, excuse me, if you want to get in on the gaming, $2 a month. But it is so tight knit because of that. Like you guys have to understand, if it was open to $1 that means that people would be like fighting over spots to play. And I think keeping it at $3 means that
Dude,
if you do subscribe to that, you actually get to play.
I
So
just, dude, you know, when Black Ops 6 comes out, we got it. Like, if we have enough patrons for it,
oh yeah,
we should totally do 6v6 or like what, like do private matches, bro.
yeah,
Holy crap,
it's so
man.
fun. Yeah, I can't wait.
Oh,
I'm hearing people say that Black Ops 6 has some leaks and stuff that are
yeah,
disappointing people.
I
I don't know though.
I
But
did see some stuff about that, but
support the Patreon.
I don't know if I want to look at those leaks. I'm ready for zombies. So that's it. Anyways, so you said you had a story regarding
Yeah, so you were talking about candied cherries, dude. We went to Flick's Brew House, right?
mhm.
With mom and dad. And dad was like, you unlimited popcorn and soda refills?" I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Damn, we need to move to New Mexico."
Well, see, so that's the thing. I bet you Dad's kind of torn between Texas and New Mexico because
Bobby and I are like, we should try and like convince them because I'm sorry, but every time like I get weather notifications like year round for Texas, it's always some bullshit. A freeze warning, a heat warning, a storm warning, a flood warning. Like, they I hear they even get tornado warnings
yeah, they do.
where sis lives and stuff. I'm just like, bro, none of that shit happens out here. We get a flood warning like once a year. That's it.
Well,
And we already had it this year.
yeah, we had ours too. Yeah, and we get dust
And
storm
the cost of
warnings.
living is like pretty similar.
Well, is there state income tax in Mexico?
Yeah.
What about property tax?
See, the property tax thing I think is ridiculous because people are like, "Oh, I live in Texas because there's no property tax." I'm like, bro, if you have a $300,000 house, that's like 3 grand you're saving a year, but you're paying more in insurance because there's storms and shit there. Like home
Oh,
insurance is more expensive there, so it's this doesn't even make a difference, man. Like
that's
unless you own a
actually
$1 million home, like seriously, like the property tax thing is a joke.
that's actually an
Um,
interesting point to bring up. I hadn't thought about that.
yeah,
Hmm.
I mean my disability from the military doesn't get taxed,
Wow.
so.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's pros and cons to everything. All I know is that Texas, there's less to do there. That's for sure. Unless you live in like Dallas or Houston, there's like, I mean, it's just fields and shit for miles.
Well,
You know,
I know where in Texas I'd want to move for.
I couldn't do the humidity though. The humidity I could
Yeah,
not do.
I hear the humidity's bad. So we had a little like I think it was like a week where it was a little humid, right? And
Oh wait! I didn't get to my the
oh
candy
Jesus
cherry thing.
Christ, yeah.
So I was like, all right, I'm sticking to a running schedule. I'm sticking to a pretty strict caloric intake. So we're going all out. Bobby got like the chips and queso, which was really good, by the way. Dude, they literally go like somebody in the kitchen. It's their job, I guess, to like make sure that none of the chips are broken.
Hmm.
Every single chip was perfect. I was like, what?
Oh, dude, did you hear that some Wells Fargo executive did like a whole study where like he went to Chipotle and got a bowl and he weighed them to see
Yeah,
how the weights varied, and he found like it's got a pretty wide range. Like there's times where you
yeah.
get like half of what you're supposed to. Like,
I don't think I'm pretty like when because I'm gonna go there and order tonight. Like if you get a mobile order, it tends to be very accurate. Like I think they have more time to do the mobile orders because they have like a separate area of the kitchen now for that. So like there's like somebody who only does mobile orders, and so like they can take their time. But when you're going on the line, it just depends on who's serving the food. You gotta like police them because you'll be like, bro, that was not a full scoop. Like, come on, man. I know you gotta like watch what you're doing, but it's not an issue anymore. Ever since the like outrage, they're like they pile that shit on, so it's not really an issue
well,
anymore.
because
But
the term that gets brought up a lot is shrinkflation, where they're like using
yeah,
less ingredients and stuff like that, or they'll use they'll give you like a smaller amount of sauce or something like that, and it's like,
yeah, I
God,
haven't.
man, that's so bad. I'm
I've
like,
noticed the prices went up a little with Chipotle, but the serving sizes are the same.
well, I keep seeing that stupid thing where they're like dude, we used to have dollar McChickens and 24/7 Walmarts, and it's like, man, like I don't remember them being a dollar since like maybe like
Yeah, I mean,
2015.
McDonald's had a dollar menu and it like doesn't even exist anymore.
Well, because then I think it became like the 1 2 3
Yeah, and you look
menu.
at it and there's like nothing on it.
Yeah, it's like nothing that you.
It's like,
Yeah,
why is this even here, bro?
yeah, which is why it failed. But like,
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, maybe if they did like a, I mean, the fact that that value meal that they had, like that meal deal, honestly, like it's not a bad deal. I was like, I actually when I went and got my food, I actually got too much. Like it was like $9 for two spicy McChickens. I got my free medium fry, and then the small fry was included with the meal. I got my 4 nuggets, and then I got like a small high C or something like that, right? And
nice.
nice thing
Yeah,
is, I only asked for one barbecue sauce, and they gave me two. But
nice.
I
Yeah,
was
you like
like,
barbecue sauce?
McDonald's specifically, their sauce, their
They do
barbecue
have a
sauce is good.
specific taste.
So,
Yeah.
because we used to get that, I forgot what brand it was. But it's that bottled sauce. It's like it's more of a brown color as opposed to like a reddish color. And that one, it's
Yeah.
like it doesn't taste the same. It's like the barbecue
Nope.
sauce from McDonald's is a little bit sweeter, I think.
Just for context, when I was growing up, Chris would like not try any sauce. So like the fact that he even eats any barbecue, I'm like astonished. But that yeah, McDonald's has a
Well,
very specific taste
I mean,
for their barbecue
yeah, I
sauce.
don't I don't eat I don't even eat ketchup. Ketchup sucks.
Dude, they have a ketchup, a New Mexico ketchup here called like Rolled Gold, and that shit, I don't know what it is about it, but it's good.
Isn't
It's
Rolled
like good.
Gold like the pretzel brand? I'm
Oh.
maybe he's right and they're
Red
connected.
Gold.
Red Gold, okay.
Red Gold.
Rolled Gold. I was like, they make
Yeah,
pretzels,
it's
bro.
called Red Gold. Dude, there's something about it. It's like it's just a different flavor, and that's what they serve at the movies. And I'm like, yeah. So to continue, still haven't talked about the candy cherry thing. Um, and so we got that, and then I got the Tombstone burger and the fries, which was delicious. But I got a milkshake, and they had it's a build your own milkshake. You choose the flavor of the ice cream, and then you choose like they could put M&Ms, Oreos, or Reese's in there, and you know I got Oreos.
Yeah, okay.
So I got a vanilla Oreo shake, and Bobby tried it, and she was like, "Oh my god!" And I'm like, "Yeah, dude, this shit busted."
I gotta say right now,
And had that
dude,
candy cherry in there, and I was like, "Oh yeah."
I genuinely
Anyways,
believe vanilla milkshakes are like the only way to go because chocolate ice cream is overrated to begin with, and chocolate milkshakes, it's like, bro,
gotta be in the mood
just
for it.
just go drink chocolate milk. Like at this point, if you want that flavor, because chocolate milkshakes taste like chocolate ice cream, and chocolate ice cream tastes like butt, bro. It's not good.
I like it.
Don't,
I like
man.
I like chocolate milkshakes from certain places, but
I
if you're gonna get an Oreo shake, vanilla all the way.
I'd sooner get like a strawberry milkshake than a freaking
But
chocolate
dude, it was
milkshake.
yeah. I'm telling you what. When it showed up, I was like, "Is this melted?" No, it's just like the way they blend it, and it was just like it stayed that way the whole time I drank it. I was like, it was not bad.
Wow.
Like even though it was like when I got it, I was like, this seems kind of soupy, and then I drink it. I'm like, no, that bitch is cold. Like this
Soupy.
is just how they do it, and like it just made it like an even better like. Cause have you ever gotten a milkshake and then you can't get it through the straw?
Yeah. Yeah, and I
that
hate it. Yeah.
and they give you like a boba tea straw, so the Oreo pieces
Oh,
don't get stuck in the. Dude, it was
Dude,
perfect, man.
don't
Best
even get me
milkshake I've had
started.
in a long time.
Don't get me started on boba, bro. Oh my god.
I don't like it.
You don't like well, okay. So what
Uh.
I would get it was a Thai tea. Thai tea is like it's I've had other people try it and they're like it's weird. I don't like it. I'm like okay, whatever. But it's a milk tea. It's like this orange color, right? And it's like very unique flavor. And my one of my friends from high school like introduced me to it. But at the time, I would only get like the regular, just like plain boba, and then I learned
Yeah.
they have a strawberry popping boba, right? And my favorite like flavor is strawberry. Okay, like whenever it comes, like if I was gonna get like a fruit soda, it would be like strawberry Fanta or something like that because I just like strawberry a lot. So this strawberry popping boba goes so good with this Thai tea, and that's what I'd always get. And I haven't had it in like a year. And that stuff's so good,
Yeah.
man.
I don't know. I'm just not into sugary drinks unless it's a milkshake. Like honestly,
That's
it's like
fair.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Sugar is one of those things where I'm like, I mean, you could literally look at the science and like sugar, if when you come to like when it comes to just like overall health, sugar is like one of the worst things you can eat too much of. You know what I mean? Like it spikes your blood sugar, which just fucks with all your hormones. It makes you hungry, it makes you tired, it does all these things. And so like I'm like if I'm going to dump sugar into my body, it better be worth it, you know? Like it
That's
better be
yeah,
worth it. And soda to me is not worth it.
yeah.
Um those like I like coffee. I don't like Bobby when her sister and her dad were here, they went to Dutch Bros because we have that here too. And she came back with she's like, yeah, it's like a seasonal thing. It's called this cookie dough, blah blah blah, frappuccino. And I'm like, got a little cookie dough, yeah, it tastes good, but like this is like it's a milkshake. It's not coffee anymore. It's a milkshake with
Yeah.
caffeine. And like I can't like if I'm gonna drink coffee, I want like cold brew, which sometimes cold brew is ass. I don't know, like sometimes if you get the bottom of it, it's like it tastes like the grounds, like straight up grounds. But there's some places where it's like, damn, this
Well,
cold brew is good. But I like black coffee. Like that's
Dutch
how I like my coffee,
Dutch
just
Bros.
black.
I've like it was we had gotten one in town in 2021, and mom and I would always go, and I freaking loved that place. But when I went home, um, I was like, yeah, dude, let's go get Dutch Bros. And so me and my friend went over there, and dude, honestly, like I don't know if it was because of what I got, but I was like, man, this is not as good as I remember it being. Because I just got like a tea. It's the same thing I always got, but it just wasn't the same.
Yeah, no, it's kind of interesting. I look back at some of the stuff I ate when I was in like high school, and I'm just like, God, bro, I ate so terrible.
Yeah.
But like when you're that age, you can really get away with it, you know? Because like your body is like until you turn like 25, they say your body is still like your bone density is changing and like your teeth are still changing until then. Your brain is still developing until like
Yeah.
25. I don't know. Like it's almost like you're not done with puberty, you know? Like it's almost like puberty doesn't end until you're like 25, like fully. Like that's when you eat. Like the doctors used to tell me they're like, "Hey, I mean, because they'd be like, so you know, man, like you can gain height until you're 25." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not holding my
Yeah,
breath."
I know. I hate when people say that because it's like, dude, I know I'm short. It's not like I'm gonna suddenly be 6 feet when I wake up tomorrow. Like, it's not
Yeah,
happening.
dude, I hate when tall people are like, "Damn, you you could be my kid," and I'm just like, first of all, why are you saying something so weird? Second of all, I'm gonna outlive you. All
Dude,
right,
okay, you want to hear something?
I'm gonna die 20 years before I will because
It
you're gonna give out.
it is the biggest cope I have, but it's kind of true. As a short person, you use less resources. You need less food, less oxygen, less material for clothes, less space, right? Like you use less resources, and so being
Yeah,
short means you are more efficient.
there's
And
100% a few people who are alive today because the helicopter could carry more fuel because of me. So
yeah,
I
that's a great way to look at it,
yeah
honestly, dude. Holy crap, yeah.
I'm gonna talk like that's a thing to mention in my film because I definitely gotta have somebody make fun of my height, you know, because I'm coaching these guys. Like
Dude,
it's
honestly, that is like the most inspirational thing I've ever heard. Like no joke.
yeah, man.
That's wild, man.
Yeah,
Wow.
I mean it's true, man. We could carry like an extra 20 minutes of fuel because of me.
Wow.
Because most people are like 100 pounds heavier than me, you know, with their gear and stuff.
Hmm.
So 100
Well,
pounds is like, I think they burn. Maybe it was an extra 10 to 15 minutes. I can't remember, but it was enough where it was like, should we go for another pass? Yeah, and then we find them, and it's like, all right, we get them. We're out of fuel. We gotta go. You know, and it's just like we literally wouldn't have like found them yet if we had to turn around sooner. Because like that's just literally how it works. You know, like you search in a grid pattern, so it's like, you know,
well,
um,
why is height such a like it's an attribute that people care a lot about, and I think in most scenarios it really doesn't matter.
I mean, I think for men it's like a masculinity thing, you know? Like if you're not tall, you're not like masculine for some reason. I like uh have you ever seen I've seen so many videos where these cuz you'll see all kinds of different people with those microphones and they'll be like, "Would you date me?" And they're like, "No, sorry. I only date guys above 6 feet." And he's like, "That's fucked up." Like,
Yeah, yeah,
I only date chicks that are below 150 pounds. And she's like, "Oh my God, why would you say that?" Well, you could change that. I can't.
yeah,
And I'm like, that's fair.
yeah.
That's
Well,
fair, dude.
and I mean, like, a- as far as height goes, it's like not really an indication of health, whereas weight definitely could be. But I don't know. Like I've never
Uh,
fully understood the height thing, aside from yeah what you just
yeah.
said. But I don't know. That's always been so interesting to me.
The only thing that's ever, like, it's always come across my mind is that there was a guy who was like, I don't know, I want to say like 5 years older than me when I was in the Coast Guard, another flight mechanic who was like, I mean, this guy could have been like Chris Evans' body double. He was like, he looked like fucking Captain America, bro. He was in like tip top physical condition the entire freaking 4 years I was there. I never saw that guy out of shape. And that guy would get shit faced on the weekends. Like, this guy could, I mean, like, and I mean, I don't mean he was like, he was a sloppy, I wouldn't say a sloppy drunk, but I mean, like, just like anybody who gets shit faced, they're gonna act crazy and stuff. But like I was just so jealous. I was like, God, that guy's like 6'2", 210 pounds. I see this guy do cheat meals and it's like half of what I can eat for a cheat meal. Like it's just like one of the biggest downsides to being short is that like you just cannot eat as much food and have like if somebody his height eats a 3,000 calorie meal the next day he's like, I'm a little puffy, but I'm good. Me, I'm gonna feel like shit. I'm gonna look like shit. I'm gonna be retaining all this water and stuff. Like it's just not like your body doesn't burn as much glucose
Yeah,
and
but
shit.
that
So it's
that that goes back to the whole thing of like you need less to actually
yeah,
survive, so you
but
shouldn't be.
I've always heard people go like, "Damn, bro, your maintenance calories is my cutting calories," and I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, my my
I was
my
gonna ask you, did you say you were drinking G Fuel today?
yeah, I'm having shiny splash.
Chinese. That's a good one, dude.
Well, see, because
I think it's the Raging Gummy Fish.
I have a lot of the tubs from before. Because you gave me what was it? You gave me the juice, and then you gave me
Good one.
what's the persimmon one? Las Plagas or
Oh,
whatever?
Las Plagas. Yeah.
Yeah, and so whenever I wanted, I was like, I'll try those ones because I haven't. I think the juice I might have had once, and I was like, I couldn't remember if I was a huge fan of it or not, and so I tried it
Like a
again.
candy fruit punch. It's weird.
Well, it's the juice is more of like, isn't it like a watermelon flavor? That's what I thought it tasted
It
like.
is, but it tastes like
Reminds me of a
it's
Jolly
like
Rancher.
it's like a tropical punch, but like the main aspect of it is it to me it tastes like a watermelon blow pop. You know that has like,
Mm.
oh, you froze on my end.
Ah, yeah, you froze for
Oh,
me
you're
too.
good. Okay.
Okay.
Um, but did you try Las Plagas?
Yeah, although I think
Weird.
I think I tried it like on a bad day or something like that because I was like I can't taste anything right now. I don't know if I was
Oh
like stuffed
yeah.
up or what. Because with all the
It's
dust and stuff like that, like I think this was like a
You should
month
try it
ago.
again. It's an interesting
Yeah.
flavor.
Um. Geez,
Resident Evil 4 is so good, by the way, man. If anybody was like, I've never played Resident Evil, which one should I play? Resident Evil 4, the remake. So
what?
fucking
So
good.
yeah, I beat
This
Atomic
episode
Heart.
might have the record for F words, by the way. I don't know.
Yeah. Food. Um. No, because as far as games go, Atomic Heart was a lot of fun. I'm waiting for the next two DLCs to come out because I think the way the DLCs is really cool. Um, but Yeah, I won't get too deep into that because I'll go on a huge schizo rant about it. I don't know if you want to talk about the news stories from this week.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think that's the last thing we'll talk about before our recommendations. We have two topics we had listed, but we went in the weeds on stuff, which I enjoyed doing that. So we're gonna save two topics for next week. Um, but yeah, so two things that we wanted to talk about this week in the news. Um, Alec Baldwin yesterday. Bobby was watching it because they were doing the the court hearing was literally happening in Santa Fe right here, um, which is like an hour away, and so I guess what happened was like New Mexico withheld evidence. Like the state police withheld evidence, and they were like, "Yeah, no,
Whoa.
they found out that it was like," and I might be butchering these details, so don't take me word for word, but from what it sounds like, the prop guy, so not the armorer, who is that chick who's like totally unqualified. The thing is there's fail safes, right? First of all, the prop masters should not be bringing real bullets on, like giving real bullets to the set. Then the armorer is supposed to check those weapons to make sure there's no real bullets in the guns. So the armorer did not check that there was real bullets in the guns, but the prop guy, it turns out, was giving them real bullets, which means the prop guy fucked up big time. That is a big no-no. And so they basically said because New Mexico withheld the evidence that there was bullets given to the armorer by the prop person, um,
Was it
it's like
mistrial or
a
what?
yeah, basically like they were like that this is literally like this is why the justice system exists, is to stop things like this from happening. And so they dismissed the case.
Wow.
So he's off. He's not and it was sad. He was like crying in court. I saw his brother in the crowd and the brother's just like I don't know. It's a big sensitive topic in the film community here, but as an actor, like because I see a lot of people on the crew and stuff who are like, this is they're getting away with it, and I'm like, dude, it should not be the actor's fault. The actor, like this, when you're on a set and things are moving fast, they hand you stuff and you gotta go. You just gotta go with it. I mean, they showed the footage and he's just doing take after take, drawing this gun, and like I think as an actor, it's a lesson like maybe you should check guns yourself just to be safe so you don't end up in his shoes. But it should not be his
Which,
fault that there was a real bullet in that gun, man.
yeah, and as far as what the motivation is behind even bringing real bullets, that's a whole other thing. 'Cause that's
Yeah.
weird.
No, I hope that armorer and that prop person never get work again, man. Fuck
Yeah.
those people. That
Yeah.
that cinematographer's dead because of them and their negligence. They are like we every safety rule in any job field, no matter what it is. Like in the Coast Guard, they used to say like that is written in blood. Somebody either got really hurt or died, and now that is a safety precaution. So for them to just be careless like that, and somebody died and another person ended up injured, I think it was the director. Yeah, I hope they're blacklisted. I hope they can't get work on a student film. Fuck them.
Jeez. Um.
Dude, I don't want them on a set with me.
Yeah, but I was like, dang, a student film, man, bro, they're gonna be like screwed, like. um.
And I mean the producers, I do think, because that's another big thing is people say like the producers should be held accountable because they hired those people, and I'm like, yeah, I definitely think that they should have some kind, like there should be something there
Uh,
but then they're like, well, Alec Baldwin was a producer. And I'm like, yes, but he was acting. He was the actor at the moment when it happened. He can't be producing and acting at the exact same time. He's doing takes and stuff. It's not like he's like, hang on one second, let me put my producer hat on. Hey, how much do these blanks cost? Is this gonna affect the budget right now if I do another take? No, like that's not what he's thinking in the moment. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
he's acting. But you want to talk about your news topic? 'Cause
Yeah.
I think I saw what you were talking about.
So it's kind of messed up. So, for people who don't know, which you should probably know this by now, it's been going on for like 2 years. Ukraine got invaded, and Well, it got invaded by Russia, and the president of Russia is named Putin, and the president of Ukraine was at, was it like a NATO summit or something? But Joe Biden, I guess he must have been having a bad day because he addresses the
Every
president
day's
of
a
you.
bad day now.
Well, no, it was like really bad though. Like this, it was like everyone was just crapping on him.
He did
this
catch
day.
himself,
Well,
to
so
be fair.
he,
After the
he
fact.
did, but he did it twice. He said it twice, which I was like, dude, what? Come on.
Yeah.
So he addresses the president of Ukraine as President Putin, and it's like,
Like
oh,
Zelensky or some shit, right?
it's
Like
it's
like not even
Zelensky,
close
yeah.
to
It's not
Putin.
even close, and it's like accidentally calling Luke Skywalker like Darth Vader
It's like
or something. Like it's like really bad, dude.
It's like something that somebody who's in an old folks home who has dementia would say.
Well, and then someone asked, and to be fair, the question was I think it might have been worded a little weird, but someone was like, something like if Kamala Harris, if Vice President Kamala Harris ends up taking your place, do you think that she would win against former President Donald Trump? And he goes, oh well, I picked Vice President Trump.
Yeah,
like
yeah, I
like
saw
basically
that.
like oh, and then he says like, oh, like it wasn't an accident, like I picked her because she's good, blah blah. And it's like there's so much wrong with what you just said
Yeah.
because you just said
I've seen
she
all
when you're
these
talking about
memes.
Trump, but then you weren't like it's so
All
weird.
these memes where people like Photoshop Trump's
Yeah.
face on Kamala Harris.
Yeah,
they're like,
and-
"I'm vice president."
But like I'm telling you, like it was a bad day, and it's like, dude, like
Well,
it's-
did you see when he called himself like the first black woman president or something by accident?
yeah, and then he said something. I don't know if it was the day after, if it was the same day. He said he was going to like something about like he was going to restore the connection between South Korea and Japan. Like, like basically saying he was gonna like combine them, and I'm like, what is happening, dude? Like, what does it even mean? And bottom line, like, it's getting to the point where I'm starting to think like it has to be on purpose, dude. Some of those gaffes that he's had are just like they're bad.
Sadly, I do not think they're on purpose. I think it's literally just like anytime he goes off the teleprompter, he gets scatterbrained. Even when he does read the teleprompter, sometimes he'll be like, pause.
Yeah, well, during the South Korea Japan thing, he like looked at someone in the crowd and goes, "What are you doing?" Like, just like,
Did you see when he was? Did you see when he was on Air Force One? And he was just like, they asked him a question, and he just stood there like,
oh God,
and he was like, and then he's like this. He's like,
man.
Mr. President, did you blah blah blah? And he's like, oh, you know, like God, man, it's
and then
just so bad.
and so what's funny? So when he accidentally said Vice President Trump, someone later in that conference was like, "Hey, so you accidentally misspoke earlier, and a lot of like proponents of Trump are actually like using it as an argument against you. What do you have to say to that?" And he goes, "Listen to him," and then walks away, and it's like, oh my God! I don't
Well, did you did they I tuned into, it was like on Twitter or so X. It was just like this 30-minute video, and it was like them grilling the spokesperson at the White House, the one that answers press questions, the press secretary or whatever they call her. They were like, is it true that it was like a Parkinson's disease specialist?
Oh, I heard about that. Yeah.
Visited the White House like 8 times in the last month or something like that. And she's like, he checks with the doctor once a week. And they're like, no, the Parkinson's specialist was there. And she's just like skirting around it and saying like, you're putting words in my mouth. And he's like, no, we were asking you to confirm yes or no, and you won't address the Parkinson's specialist. Like, you know what I mean? It was just like really weird. And I'm just like, bro, this is
so
a dumpster fire.
The thing is, there's not to get too political because honestly, I don't know if it's a party thing or if it's just the people they have in that cabinet. But like they bring up the whole thing of like, oh, you know, they're really trying to push EVs, right? And they said something about like, oh, EV sales have gone up 10% this year, blah blah blah, right? And someone goes, Yeah, can you give us like a solid number on that? Because really, if you say, oh, it went up 10%, right? That's not a very telling statistic. It actually isn't really that much. Like 10%, right? If you sell 100 cars and it goes up 10%, cool. You're now selling 110 cars. That's still not a lot.
Yeah, no, that's not enough where it's gotta like make a big difference. Like there's still I do I mean I looked into getting the Mustang Mach E. First of all, like if you want one that has like the range of a normal gasoline car, we're talking at least 50K. Like there's just no way around it. Like the range is the biggest issue for me. I was disappointed because I guess I misread or whatever. I looked in the manual for Bobby's Corolla crossover hybrid, and I was like, "Yo, this only has like a 10-gallon tank."
Well,
So I thought it,
mine has a 10-gallon tank, my Fiesta.
yes, but when I got it, I thought it was gonna be like the Camry where it has like a 550-mile range, and instead it has like a 300-mile range, and I'm like,
Um,
that's not that impressive. Like my Mustang, I think has like a 450-mile range. If I did all highway miles.
that seems odd for a hybrid to only have like a 300-mile range.
I guess the tank is smaller because they have to have room for the motors, and because it's the smaller Corolla platform, there's just not enough room for a tank like that. I was talking to Jorge because I got my Mustang, and so like we go to the movies. We went to the movies like twice in the last week. We saw Maxine, and then we saw Longlegs, which about to get into that. But we park next to each other, and we're like looking at his Charger versus the Mustang, and like his car is wider, it's taller, and the trunks, I think like the trunk was like a little deeper. And he was like, "This has like I'm gonna look it up right now because I don't want to say the wrong number." But he was like, "How big is your tank?" And I was like, 16 gallons, like a Ford Ranger, basically. You know. And he's like, "I think mine is like more of like the size of like a full size truck." And I'm like, "You have like a 30-gallon tank?" He's like, "Yeah, it's crazy. I can drive to LA on like 1 gallon, one
What?
tank of gas." Um,
Jeez.
Charger gas tank size.
Dude, that's insane. Well,
Okay, it's 18.5-gallon
but
tank.
still, what's
That's
the
so 555-mile range.
wow, dude. Well, and honestly, the interesting is
Still pretty cool though.
when I
Two and a half
drove
gallons more.
when I drove to mom and dad's on a full tank, I only used half my tank to get home.
Oh
That's
yeah, your car is very efficient.
like
So
I
it
love my
says,
car, dude. Honestly,
oh
it's
okay, it says I had it says the 2024 Ford Mustang has a 16-gallon gas tank capacity for both the fastback and convertible models. However, the 2024 Ford Mustang EcoBoost has a 15.5-gallon tank. So 15.5, 528-mile range. That's pretty good for a
yeah.
sports car.
Well,
Like I'm not complaining at all. That's my Corolla. It says okay, so it says if I filled up my tank and I drove only city miles, 352 miles on a tank. My Corolla I think got around like 325.
hmm.
So because it was a 12-gallon tank.
Dude,
So
I wonder if they ever plan on doing like a Fiesta hybrid, because that's the kind of car that I think would actually like fit
I don't
that.
know.
They feel
I
like
mean,
that
my
would make sense.
Corolla had like a 400-mile range driving on the highway. I remember being like, yeah, I can get pretty far. But yeah, I don't know. Like maybe in the future, because the thing is Bobby really likes the Corolla crossover hybrid is like higher off the ground. That's like the big thing to her. She grew up driving like a Yukon, so she was like more used to being up off the ground, which I think has been the thing for mom too.
Yeah.
You know, like that's been one of the things for her. Personally, I don't really care about that.
Well, my biggest gripe with cars is they have backup cameras, right? But why do they not have front cameras? I
What do you need a
don't
front camera for?
so that I don't freaking like I need to be I'm short, you're short. Sometimes I can't see far enough to tell if I'm gonna like hit something or not because like
Yeah,
sometimes you have
okay,
those
I get
little
that.
if it's a really tight spot, like there's some dude who lives at my apartment complex who always parks his Tesla in the same spot every time. I was so pissed. I got home from work early on Thursday, and
Should just park in his spot.
I parked in a spot because it was empty, and I was like, yes, finally, because he always parks in the same spot. I go to the store today for 30 minutes. I get home, and he took the spot. I was like, Jesus Christ, man. Like, of all the times, I don't know if he did it on purpose. I don't know.
It's his spot, bro.
I guess, but I'm like, there's no charger there. And like,
Yeah.
like, was he waiting for me to leave? Like, that's so weird. But it's just,
Yeah.
so it's like, then I have to go to this weird spot where it's between two cars and there's a freaking pole in the spot. And so it's just, it would be nice to have a little camera so that I know I'm not going to hit something. Just, it would be great.
What I like about my backup camera on the Mustang is it gives me two angles. So it has like the normal wide angle and it shows like the grid, like to show you where it's gonna move with like it actually like adjusts the thing with how you turn the wheels, which I love. My Corolla didn't do that. But if I tap this little like plus sign thing, it changes to an angle that's more like a down facing angle, so I can actually see how close the bumper is to anything. I'm like, that's nice. So I can get really close to something.
Yeah, because it's one of the issues that I've definitely seen with backup cameras. Sometimes you actually park like farther than you expected.
Yeah, it gives you like, I think it's got to do with how cameras work. It's almost like the mirror thing where it's like, you know, objects in mirror are closer than they appear or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like the opposite with cameras where it's like they're farther than they appear. Yeah, because I'll be like, man, I had like a whole foot, you know? And
Yeah, which I
my
almost,
my old Mustang just had beeping noises, and if I got to the point where it was like, ee, I'd be a foot away. So I knew I had a foot if I hit the ee, you know?
Yeah, and I feel like it's by design, but still.
I don't know. That's one of those things where Dad is like, oh yeah, that was pretty good. It gave you like a foot of room, even though it was like, you know. And I'm like, yeah, you know. This beeps too. If so, like, I like it because if I'm backing up and some jackass comes flying into the parking complex, you know, like the parking lot, like it'll beep and let me know that somebody's coming. That's really nice.
Well,
So I don't
mine
back
doesn't.
into somebody.
Mine doesn't beep. I have to look at the actual camera. But yeah, there's been some times where you have some dude just, and I'm like, so
God,
that's
dude,
why I
can't
just
stand
look.
people
I
like
look
that,
back
man.
and
You're in a
forth.
parking lot.
Yeah.
Like the speed limit's like 15, 10 or 15, and people will be in there driving 30, like they're going down the street. You know, it's like, Jesus, bro. Like, there's families walking around here and shit, and you're like flying through here like you're driving for NASCAR or some shit. Like, slow the fuck down.
So I was gonna say that I remember one time. So it was when you first got in your Mustang, and we
Old one, yeah.
yeah we were driving around the neighborhood, and you just like floored it because you were trying to show me how fast, and I was freaked out. Oh my god! Like what? Like you're gonna you gotta stop and you were
Some
like
guy was like, slow down.
yeah, and you're like I'm going 35, and I was like. Yeah, I guess what is it, like 25 where you were driving, and so it was like kind of fast, but it was for like 2 seconds, and so it was like
yeah.
chill
I
out,
wasn't
bro.
careless
Like
about it. I
yeah,
wasn't careless about it.
and because it was a straightaway, and there's like
Yeah,
plenty.
dude, the thing that I've noticed about, at least about Mustangs, I can't really speak for other cars 'cause I haven't driven them enough. I'll be going like 60 miles an hour, and it does not feel like it. It's so weird. I think it has to do with the way they drive and how quiet.
Well,
Like
yeah,
the interior is because they're designed because of the engine being loud and stuff.
that's the
it's
thing.
weird.
So like
Such a smooth ride.
newer cars feel like spaceships. That's how I describe it because it's like you're
Mine's
just,
an all digital dash now.
yeah. Well, we talked about that, and I think that the that like 80s like 7 segment display thing is probably what I would pick. Cause it's like I'm a nerd, and so I think
Yeah,
that
I like.
stuff's cool.
I'm the Corolla made me really lazy when it comes to like the
Like the heads up display.
speedometer. Like I like actually having like a number where it tells me like, oh, you're going 27, 28, 29, you know? And with the normal ones, you just have to kind of like it's like reading a clock, you know? And like I'm lazy. I like to just like look and know how fast I'm going instead of having to be like, okay, I'm between 20 and 30 and like, you know, like
Yeah.
I'm lazy. But
Yeah.
dude, I mean the 60s Mustang display is so sick, man. Like that is such a cool feature that they added. But we should definitely wrap this up. So 'cause I
Yeah,
got
it's
some
gonna
shit to
probably
do.
like the longest episode we've had so far.
most cuss words for sure. I had a
Yeah.
potty mouth today. Sorry, it's been a long week. It's been a stressful week for me. But and one of the topics that made me stressed out, we'll talk about it next time, is basically about like how TikTok feels like it's dying. But um, movie recommendations. For me this week, I went and saw Longlegs, and it is definitely like I think it's, I don't know, top five of the year for me. It is. It's the kind of crime movie that I want to watch. It definitely leans into horror elements a little bit more, but I didn't think it was scary. It was more like, because people are arguing right now, what is scary? And I'm like, to me, scary is like you think something's coming and then something comes and scares you anyways. You know what I mean? Like even anticipating it, like you start, your heart starts to beat because you're like, I know it's coming, and then it comes and it like tricks you. You know what I mean? Like you think it's coming now and it doesn't, and that's what scares you. This movie had moments like that where you thought something was coming and nothing never comes and just goes to the next scene. And I'm like, that is called suspense. And suspense is something that is usually attributed to thrillers. So I'm like, this is more of like a crime thriller with horror elements. I wouldn't classify it as a full-on horror movie. It's more of a mystery than a horror. And people, they advertise it as like scariest movie of the year. And I'm like, I think they're saying that because there's not a lot of really scary movies this year. But I haven't seen The First Omen yet. I plan to watch that. I'm hearing people say that was scarier. I think Late Night with the Devil was the scariest thing I've seen this year because it's more like psychological and like really fucks with you and startles you. Or I mean like jump scares you. Whereas this had some jump scares, but it was more like startling you, and like the thing you're seeing is not scary. It's just um like a gotcha, and then it's gone. You know what I mean? But like it actually it's justified. It so don't go in expecting the scariest movie of the year. Go in expecting one of the most uncomfortable film going experiences that like I've experienced this year, 100%. I'm hearing people say like Nicolas Cage is like, oh my gosh, it's like Oscar worthy. I think he killed it, but I think because of the type of character he's playing, it was very like one note. It's every time he was on screen, it was kind of the same thing, you know. But he killed it. But to me, an Oscar performance is like you see somebody like playing both sides of like different spectrums of emotions, and like you could tell how well-rounded they are. They can go from crying to like creepy and like angry and all these different emotions, and he was just like creepy the whole time. You know what I mean? Like just that one thing. Very odd movie because it's neon, but also very like mainstream in its execution. But yeah, go see Longlegs if you want to be like unnerved like crazy. If you just want to be like on edge of like on edge, like something's gonna pop out, but it's actually got like a good mystery to it. And I don't know. I might go see it again because I think it's one of those movies where you view it again and like because now you know how everything works and what the story is and stuff, you can like catch things that you didn't before. There's a scene I had to piss so bad, so I got up and left, and I come back and John Crow was like, "Bro, you missed like the craziest thing." And I'm like, "I did," and he's like, "Nah, I'm just kidding." And I'm like, "Come on, bro."
No,
What's your recommendation?
I am recommending a movie I hadn't seen in a long time that I rewatched it like today. I watched Uncle Buck, and
Such a good one, man.
honestly, like I was like, oh, like that's what this movie's about. It's a very like honestly like the
Kind of dark at times.
yeah like but at the end of the day like the yeah the message of it honestly is like it's pretty wholesome, like really.
Yeah.
And it's to me it's
What,
like
I think it's my favorite John Candy performance.
well, the scene that I always remembered from it is when he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm getting off cigarettes." And then he goes,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
on cigars now, and then I'm gonna
Yeah.
go to pipes, and then I'll be on like nicotine gum." It's like
He's like chewing tobacco.
yeah, and
I'm on the
it's
5-year
a 5-year
plan.
plan, yeah, and it's like that's the thing I always remembered. But like it's just. Movies from that era, like I have always really like. I mean, like Ferris Bueller's Day Off as well, like that kind of time period. I liked a lot just because it's like it's very simple and it's not over the top. It's just like I don't know.
Yeah,
There's more
it's just a
creativity
feel
to
good.
it.
It's a feel
Yeah.
good movie. It's got a good heart to it, but it also actually has like really good character development and an actual story to it, and like it feels like something that could really happen.
Yeah.
I like movies where it feels like something could really happen. Like there's this movie Bottoms that I watched where like a quarter through the movie I was like, oh okay, this is not grounded in reality. Like somebody literally just got like their neck broken and it's like no big deal. I was like, yeah, no, in real life like that person's fucking like they're
They're either
like
dead or
there's no
paralyzed. Yeah.
consequence. Yeah, at
Yeah.
the end they're like breaking football players' legs on the field and just like continuing on with the game. I'm like, yeah, this is like at that point it's just stupid to me. But Uncle Buck, the scene that I always remember is when that clown shows up to the birthday party loaded
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and he knocks his ass out.
Well, yeah, dude. I won't get into too much detail about that about the scenes in that movie, but like honestly, like there's times where I'm like, oh, like he's gonna handle this in like a mature way, and it's like, no, he goes off on some people, dude. Like he
I
says some
was
things that are like messed up. It's like Jesus, bro. Like
I
you're
always thought
just
it was
allowed to
funny
do
that
it.
like John Candy is so charismatic, but he was always like the big fat guy,
Yeah.
you know? Like but in that movie he's got like this smoking hot girlfriend. Like working at like is it am I thinking of the right movie? Working at like an auto parts place or whatever? Where does she work?
I never fully understood where she works at, but it's like she's trying to get him a job, and
She's like very smart and you're like, yeah, like like he's found like somebody way out of his league, you know? And like she's obviously like there's some tension there, like, you know. Um God, I
yeah.
gotta rewatch that one. It's good.
Yeah, well, there's another movie that he's in that some of my coworkers told me to watch. I forgot what it was. I have to go and look it up. But
Great Outdoors.
yes, that's what it is.
Yeah,
Yes.
that is probably like my second favorite one. But it's like him and Dan Aykroyd are like both the dads of two
Oh,
different families, and they just play off each other so well, man. And that one isn't as grounded in reality. It's like a little more ridiculous, but like it does a lot of things where it's got a lot. It really blends genres really well. So
yeah.
like yeah, if you liked Uncle Buck, highly recommend The Great Outdoors. There's a scene where he's at a restaurant and he has to eat like if he finishes this giant ass steak, right? Everybody's the whole family's meal is free. And so he eats this big ass steak and then the chef comes out and is like, "You did not finish it." And he's like, "It's all fat." And so he's like, "Gotta finish," like, because like I guess nobody's ever done it, you know.
Mhm.
And the chef's like, "You gotta finish it." And so he eats oh god, dude, it's a great movie, man. It's great. You should watch Great Outdoors.
Yeah, I'm glad I brought it up because I definitely. So I will say, if you're trying to watch Uncle Buck, it is on Netflix right now. That's where I went and watched
Nice.
it. So that's
Yeah,
yeah,
I might watch that with the family this weekend. Then
yeah.
it's a good one. God, what a throwback. And then if you want to go, if you want to be creeped the hell out, go watch Longlegs. I definitely think that's a movie that people are going to be talking about for a long time. It's going to have a big cult following, whether you're on board with where the story goes or not. Which I feel like I got to go see it again to know if I really like how the story was executed in the third act. But I don't know. That's just my movie filmmaker brain working. But yeah, guys, I think this episode is one of our longer ones, but we'll see you next week. Thanks for watching. Join the Patreon. Use GFL code DannyD. I'm gonna go play some Warzone with people here in a bit. So,
Get you some G Fuel.
cheers.